Today we're reviewing your dad's favorite show, Amazon's Reacher Season 2. Now, I never watched Season 1 of Reacher. It was a very popular show. I guess they go by minutes streamed, and it got over 1 billion minutes streamed. So it's a very popular show. It's your dad's favorite show. It's kind of like the Ford versus Ferrari of TV shows. I guess every, older guy just likes that machismo, old school Clint Eastwood, silent, giant, deadly guy, solving the crimes, helping the small guy, getting the girl. And it was a huge hit. Everybody loved it. So season 2, I kind of got roped into just because it was my dad's favorite show. And he was very excited to see it. I was home for the holidays and I thought, let's go ahead and bond over Reacher. Reacher Season 2. Reacher is about a guy, he's kind of like a loner, he's an Army special unit guy. He's part of the special unit, it's kind of like the DA for the Army, like they investigate sort of internal crimes. And in the season prior, I don't know what happened. I guess he went to a small town, because now he just kind of wanders the earth, solving crimes and fixing things, kind of like a kung fu. And in season 2, they kind of catch him up now, sort of still wandering the world, but I guess people are taking out members of his team, his former team. And so now the team surviving members have to come together, solve the crime, beat up people, be a mang. The show really is kind of the show is really fun. I will say that it kind of has just like a charm and all these scenarios where you see these people who are just like dirtbag people getting their comeuppance, and Reacher always does something cool where he like saves the damsel in distress or beats up the guy who's being a jerk. It really fulfills that sort of power fantasy. And in this one, they have a team where the former members of the team are now coming together because, somebody's just killing off members of the squad. They don't understand why. So it's kind of an interesting, new twist on that Reacher thing where he's not a loner. Now he's kind of part of his old squad again. And he's feeling the guilt of his people dying. And he feels like he needs to go out and avenge their deaths. And it's a lot of fun. I'm not going to lie. The team has great chemistry. Everybody seems to be, really at the top of their game as far as like they're giving off that tough but soft. The female characters are strong but still feminine. The male characters are still hard but sensitive. It's covered a lot of these good bases of like just a feel-good, fun show. And I will say that I enjoyed it. I watched, all the episodes. I will say, though, that there is a little bit of a stretch that comes at the end of the season. I just felt went a little bit too much into like, 80s action movie. It felt really like it was just kind of a, cool, fun, kind of CSI, but with, a little bit more grit. And then all of a sudden, like the last couple episodes just became like Commando, like a Schwarzenegger movie. I don't know if that's the way it happens in the books. These books are very popular based on Lee Child's books. And before it was Tom Cruise in the movies playing this Jack Reacher guy. And it's interesting because it does have this kind of like, romance novel type of feel where like men are men and women are women, the way it should be. No, I'm kidding. There's, I guess, a big outreach in the world where there was like, feminists or something who were like, we don't like a big strong man saving women. Yeah, nobody likes that. But that's the way it feels. It feels like an 80s movie. It's like, how you have these characters who can be hard without being masculine, and these other characters who could be masculine without being jerks. And it really does work to a degree. I think it gets to a certain point right around episode 6 or 7 where I think things teeter off a little bit too much into the 80s action genre. I just felt like it just got the ridiculous scenarios that come up. I don't want to spoil it in case you do want to see it because it is a fun show. Like I said, I do like the chemistry between the people on the team. I think some of the action scenes are pretty cool. A big guy beating up jerks. You can't lose, right? Hot chicks getting it on with good-looking guys that you want to look like. Can't really miss with something like that. But then it gets into these sort of tropes or like the bad guys, let me tell you my plan before I kill you. Oh no, you got away. A little bit of that, too much. Then there were like these major points in the show like these major characters that kind of just get glossed over at the end. Like there's this whole kind of mystery about whether one of the former members of the team was a bad guy, and at the end they kind of just wrap it up in like a second. And I was like, this was the whole season drawn to this, and then it kind of whatever. And then there was this really, really nasty bad guy that I think you really wanted to see get his comeuppance, and he does, but in sort of a, I don't know, crazy way, a little bit less than ideal. I wanted to be more like a, I don't know, if you're gonna go action movie, go like, you know, The End of Cobra, where it's like he's fighting the bad guy, and it's just him versus the ultimate bad guy, and the good guy prevails. This just got a little ridiculous. They're shooting missiles at helicopters. Then, like, at one point, Reacher grabs onto a helicopter, starts to pull it down, but it lifts him up. It got a little crazy. But, like I said, I do like the guy who plays Reacher. Think he's really great. I think some of the talk around him just being too built or too masculine for sort of modern audiences is a lot of BS. Because the show is crushing. It's getting billions of minutes viewed. My dad has watched it 100 times. Everyone's dad loves it. And I don't think it teeters into something that's sort of like crude and misogynistic. I think it does stay above board. It stays fun. It just got a little bit too wacky at the end. I think the sort of the 80s action movie tone took over a little too hard, because I did want to see a little bit more, I don't know, like espionage-y, you know, cool, action-y, but not necessarily over the top. And at the end, they're just shooting missiles at helicopters. It got crazy. And so you should watch the show. I think if you're sort of, you know, it's a great airplane show. It's a great late night, I got nothing to do, throw it on show. I give the season a 7 out of 10. I thought it really kind of nailed a lot of those sort of, you know, good guys coming together to beat the bad guys and team camaraderie. Anytime they could do that, it always feels good. But I feel like it just teetered a little too much into that 80s action Schwarzenegger vibe. Anyway, would still recommend it, but not necessarily run, don't walk. I would say it's a good show to watch late night on a plane when you got nothing to do. 7 out of 10, Reacher Season 2. Hey, thanks for sticking around and watching the whole review. If you did like it, please click on that button that says like. And if you want to see more of this stuff, go ahead and subscribe. I'll be doing more reviews on video games, movies, music, stuff I like, stuff I kind of thought was meh, and stuff I didn't like. It'll be a lot of fun. So thanks for watching. Check you next time.